guys, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to be learning how to insert documents inside of collections. So without further ado, let's get right into it. First of all, we're going to need to actually get our database. So the way we do this is we index like a list. So we'll just call db equals, and we named, when we connected, we named it, we called the variable client. And then we can name our database whatever. Even if it's not created, it's automatically going to create as soon as we put data. So let's just name it cars, because I'll just be doing something based on cars. And then I'm going to do col, that stands for collection, equals db. So we're in the db, now we have to make a collection. So, and our collection would be, we'll just call it Ford. And now we can actually do stuff. So first I'm going to show you an example, just inserting one, so my object. No, okay, I'll just call it Ford. And we need to insert dictionaries. So I'm actually going to do something. So model. By the way, this is not real info. If you want to put real info in, you can just test dummy info. Yep. And then this top speed. And we'll put that 198, not 250. Price colon we'll put 30 and why not 100,000. And now we can actually insert it, and we have to actually name a variable when we insert it, because we can grab stuff from like after we insert it, we can grab stuff. So col.insert _1, and then we pass in the object we just made, which is called it Ford. And if we save this, if we save that and we go to our command prompt and we run it, as you can see, no errors outputted in the console. So now if I go to Chrome, as you can see, right now our collection is empty. But if I scroll to the side and click refresh, you're gonna have to click refresh since it doesn't automatically do it. Now we have a collection with Ford, like we have a database called cars, and inside that cars database we have Ford, and inside Ford have all the info we submitted. Now, as you can see, there's an underscore ID here, which if we go back to the code, there is no underscore ID we specified. So basically, an underscore ID is kind of like a unique ID for like each object. So every underscore ID is unique for each object, and MongoDB automatically generates it if we don't pass it in, but we can pass in our own under ID. Most of the time though, it's just going to be something MongoDB generates. I don't really specify my own ID that much. But either way, I'm just going to show you how to do it just in case you wanted to know. All we do, like the other fields, we just add underscore ID. We could just name it 1. Now, if I save this and I run my code, then as you can see, it outputted with no error. And if I go back to my Chrome and I refresh my database, now there's 2, and since we specified underscore ID in this one, we don't have this random ID that got generated by MongoDB. We actually have the ID we specified. So yeah. Now I'm going to show you how to insert multiple documents at once. So first, we're going to have to go back to our code editor to actually code it out. And I'll call this my document. And we need to specify an array, and inside that array, we can have different dictionaries. So for now, I'm just going to make, I'm not going to specify underscore ID. I'll just copy this actually, and I'll change it up to each one. So, and I'm going to take out underscore ID, just do 60, and we'll just do 200,000. And I'm just going to copy this and add like 2 or 3 more. So as you can see, I added 3 more, and I'm going to just change some stuff in it. So 270, 300, 80, 400, then 290, and then 5. Okay, so now I'm actually just gonna comment. That out, and I'm gonna get a new variable. So my col dot insert, and instead of 1, we're going to do insert underscore many, and then we can just pass in the list. Call the list my documents, and we can save this. And now if we go ahead and open up our command prompt and go ahead and run it, then as you can see, no error again. And if we go back to Chrome and I refresh, okay, up here, refresh. As you can see, now there's these 2 that we inserted for testing, and there's also all these new ones. The top speed 260, top speed 270, 280, 400,000, 290, 500,000. So as you can see, we inserted many documents at once. Now this would be useful if you just don't want to for loop over like each document. Like instead of doing something like, put up on the switch to screens, and instead of doing something like for object in, I'm not gonna name object, for car in my documents, x equals call dot insert underscore 1 car. So this would actually loop over every single one of these like kind of like dictionaries. And I mean, not kind of, like actual dictionaries, and it's just gonna put them into the thing. Now this is not like the best approach to go. Just rather use this, because then it just makes it easier. This is 1 line, this is 2 lines to insert all the objects in the array. Even though this function is probably just doing that with the array we pass in, it just for loops over and inserts 1. But either way, this is probably like a better approach to take when inserting many compared to this. So recommend you use this. But either way, that's almost all, but I'm actually gonna show you one more thing. Now, if I insert x dot inserted ID. Okay. So now, if I print this, so again, we're gonna insert the whole document again, and it's not going to give any errors because we're still using like the randomly generated IDs. So now I'm going to go and run my code. No errors, but as you can see, we got all the IDs of all 4 objects we inserted. Now, this you can do like a lot, so you can just get the ID and pass it in to make kind of like a relational database, but I'd rather suggest using SQL for that, MySQL, or an SQL database. So yeah, but after we inserted them, we use the variable x to get the object ID, and then it printed it to the console. You can do much more with this obviously, but that's going to be it for this video. Next video, we're probably going to do the learn about the delete method, so stay tuned for that. Till then, thanks for watching and hope you enjoy.